My name is Erica Jones, a Coppin State University student in early childhood education. This recorded interview is an assignment for ELED 301, Curriculum Planning and Management. We have two focal points. One, giving the teacher's perspective of what it means to be an effective teacher, while also referring to the NTASC standards. My interview today is with my mentor teacher, Ms. Tonya Butler. Ms. Butler is one of two pre-K teachers here at Rosemont Elementary Middle School, a Coppin State University charter school, where the efficacy statement is, think I can, work hard, get smart. Ms. Butler has an extensive background in child care, a degree in early childhood education, and is currently one semester away from obtaining her master's in special education early childhood. Welcome, Ms. Butler. Okay, Ms. Butler, our focus again is one, what it means to be an effective teacher, and two, NTASC standards. Standard one, what are some of the methods, strategies, or tools you personally use?
I use the gradual release, small groups, and workstations.
Okay. How have these methods or strategies challenged your students?
Well, the gradual release method allows them to practice the skill before they have to independently demonstrate the skill on their own. Small groups and workstations allow them to work with a small group of students and to practice with those students before they do it independently. And workstations allow them to work with another student in order to also practice on those skills, so they learn from each other as they're working through mastering the skill.
Standard two, learning differences. What resources do you have if you suddenly gained a student with autism?
Here at Rosemont, our special education team is pretty much at our disposal. We can go to them and ask them any questions that we have. Fortunately, the Baltimore City Public School System also has an early interventionist that's assigned to each school. So if I need an observation, if I have any questions, I need any type of assistance, I can contact the early interventionist for Baltimore City Public Schools for our school and have them come in and assist. And I also like to think that I can use the resources from my own training, since I am so close to getting my degree in special ed, that I can refer to my own background as well.
Okay. Standard three, learning environments. What ways would you encourage positive team building, group learning, social interaction, and self-motivation among colleagues, community partners, and families?
With colleagues, we use professional learning communities, and I like those because it's a good way for us all to learn from each other. There's some things I know that someone else doesn't know, someone else knows some things that I don't know. So we can learn whatever it is that we need to know from each other, and we have collaborative planning meetings and team meetings here that allow us to do just that at Rosemont. Working with families are allowed to come in at any time with any questions that they have, especially in reference to homework if they don't know what it means. They can ask questions. If we have a feeling they don't know, then we can also explain. I haven't done it this year, but I've also done training for parents on what the expectations for pre-K are, so that they can effectively work with their child in order to get them where they're supposed to be academically. In the community, I think that you just go out into the community, and there are a lot of places that we have here that you can see. We have the Agape House that's literally within walking distance across the street. We do work with Coppin. We are a Coppin charter school, so we do work with you in order to help our students as well. And we get the student teachers that come into the classroom that we also help. So I think that we have a good foundation here at Rosemont for working with people in the community.
Under content knowledge, the question is, as teachers are to continue to increase and strengthen in knowledge, in what ways do you expand professional connections?
Well, obviously the first is that I'm still in school. I'm working on my master's degree, and I'm considering when I finish my master's degree, working on my educational specialist degree in curriculum and instruction. Having different professional associations to organizations like the NAEYC, I think are other ways that you can increase your own personal professional development. I've attended pre-K conferences just for pre-K teachers that are also offered, as well as various trainings that the Baltimore City Public School System offers that you can voluntarily go to.
Okay. Application of content. How would you differentiate instruction in a manner that allows for an application to real world experiences?
Obviously, every learner that you have in the classroom learns differently, but real world applications are certainly the best way for students to learn. When I think about the fact that we're working on the letter A right now, I have students who just looking at something visually may not just be enough. So that I can bring in an apple just to allow them to apple. And when we work with long A, bring in something like an apron so that they can visually apply it to something that they've seen before. Maybe they've seen their mother wear an apron before. I like to wear aprons during art activities so I don't get dirty. So they can apply those sounds with the long A and the short A to something that they see on a regular basis or that they will see on a regular basis.
Okay. How easy or difficult does planning become?
Differentiating isn't necessarily all that difficult because I feel like it's something that you do on a regular basis. You're always scaffolding. You know that you don't have children in your classroom who are all on the same level. So you just, you plan for it, whether you really have it or you don't have it, because you can't predict the responses that your children will get. Yesterday they may know everything and today they may know nothing. So you just, you plan ahead. And you plan to, at minimum, scaffold and be prepared for whatever those responses are that your children have.
Okay. Teachers are to use and adapt multiple methods of assessment to document, monitor, or support learner progress for their differing reasons. What assessments are currently being used in your school, and what is its effectiveness in your classroom?
We use baseline assessments to begin with to see where the children are when they first get here, what they know and what they don't know. From there, we also use weekly assessments, unit assessments, performance tasks, and checklists. And all those things are used so that we can individualize instruction. You do the baseline, you see what the children know and don't know, so you can group them into the appropriate groups according to the assistance, the level of assistance that they would need throughout that particular skill. Then you redo it again with each unit, with each skill, so that you know what group they're supposed to be in.
Planning for instruction. Planning for instruction. How comfortable are you with planning instruction that supports rigorous learning goals?
I'm fairly comfortable with planning instruction that supports rigorous goals. I believe in pre-K everything is rigorous. The majority of the students come in with very little prior knowledge, if any prior knowledge. So on this particular level, everything is rigorous. There are things that they don't know, we take it to another level. We just don't learn what the letter A looks like. We learn about the sound. We learn about things that make those sounds. We learn how to write those letters. So for the majority of students, if they know one thing, they may not know the rest. So I believe that it's all rigorous.
Okay. Instructional strategies. In what ways do you encourage students' understanding of content?
I like to do things so that we sing it, we dance it. You see pictures of it. You can see a real life, the object itself, an authentic object that they can actually see. So they're not just learning one particular way, and so that we can accommodate all the different styles of the children. And then scaffolding. It's the biggest thing. It's making sure that they understand and using what they already know and helping them to get to the answers that we want them to get to with the skills they need to learn.
Professional learning and ethical practices. Name some professional development activities you have enjoyed or have found extremely informational or informative and helpful.
Learning how to do workstations. That's one that I just recently learned, was how to do a workstation, and I thought it was very helpful because I learned about why it was important that they work in pairs, that they rotate, and that they do other things, and not just one particular thing that they may be working on. Just exposing them and giving them the experience of other things. I've always done small group or whole group, and workstations is just a pair or an individual student. And I thought that was one of the most awesome workshops that I've had most recently, that I really enjoyed and that I learned a lot. And because I'm a little artistic, I like putting together some of the things that we put together for workstations. So that was a very helpful activity to learn, especially since we do use it.
Good. Leadership and collaboration. What motivates you to seek out the assistance of learners, colleagues, families, and community members?
Well, in terms of learners, I don't like to necessarily give my students the answers to the questions that we have. I like them to ask another student to just give them a hint, to help them along, to achieve whatever the skill is that they need, because I believe they can do it. They don't need me to get the answer. If they work at it, they'll get it. So I like to use the students and not myself. Plus, it gives me an opportunity to see what the other students know by helping another student. In terms of seeking the assistance of other colleagues, obviously, if I have a question, I don't know how to do something, I know that there's someone who's on staff, whether on my grade level or a different grade level, who can assist and who can help.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Butler, so much for having me in your classroom today and taking the time and patience necessary to be a part of this interviewing process.
Thank you.
This concludes my interview with Ms. Tonya Butler, a pre-K teacher here at Rosemont Elementary School, a Coppin State University charter, where the efficacy statement is: think I can, work hard, get smart.